What's up, everybody? I'll wait for some people to actually jump in here and see. I don't usually go live if you guys don't know. It says there's one person watching right now. I very rarely do live, but I've heard that I should check out the live with the what's it called? With the vertical, and so I'm trying it. What's up, Messiah? Can is my sound all right, you guys? I'm using my earbuds obviously rather than a mic right now, and so that's a lot coming at me right now. There was nobody here, and now there's people here. All right, so I wanted to talk about this. It's a little echoey. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll figure out my sound on the next one. For this one, it's just going to have to be what it is. Um, but yeah, so I wanted to talk about this because obviously I don't know who's Team Trump and who's not. But I wear a hat every video. I like a couple weeks ago I mentioned the hat and somebody was like, "I can't believe that. I thought you were joking this whole time." And I was like, "Joking the whole time? I mean, how long would I keep that going?" Thank you, Kimberly. Love you too. That's kind of ridiculous that the whole time I would have just had this joke going the entire time. But I guess people kind of lie to themselves if they want to like you anyway, because I know I am a likable person. And so people want to believe that I'm in line with whatever they're thinking. And the truth about me, which I'm going to get to talking about the mass deportations, don't think that was clickbait. I do actually want to talk about that. But the thing about me is I have always felt like anybody can vote the way that they want to vote, and I'm not going to get mad at them, so I'm not going to have anybody get mad at me, or I'm not going to treat that like it's serious to me, because I really wasn't mad. Most of my friends, I would say, probably were Harris supporters, and I know one person in my family was as well, and I don't care, you know what I mean? I'm not arguing with people. I'm not telling people they were stupid. I'm not laughing in anybody's face right now. None of that stuff. But what I did want to say, wow, that's a long time, HMV Hell, all the way since the Gabriel Iglesias special. I appreciate it. But I did want to say, as far as the, because, Baller Alert is trying to scare everybody right now, which I know not everybody pays attention to the black blogs, but I love the black blogs because the what's it called are always funny. Like the comments are always really funny on the black blogs. So I pay attention all the time. And so Baller Alert though is trying to scare people by being like, Trump campaign confirms mass deportation of millions of undocumented immigrants will begin on day one, says press secretary. But here's the thing. That's why we voted for him. So when you're telling me that the person that I voted for is going to do the thing that he's been saying he was going to do, I don't know why I'm supposed to be afraid or upset about that. But I do know why they're doing it. And the reason that they're doing it is because in 2016, that worked really well for them. Is they just kept on pushing these Trump is so scary. And it worked in 2016 because, not everybody understood back then. And now, with him getting an overwhelming amount of votes and, really just, he blew Kamala away. That's what it was. And so, with that being the case, it's just like you're not going to get the same kind of support you got in 2016. Like we've seen what happens now. And when you have like that situation in Aurora, Colorado, where the, immigrants have taken over that apartment building and they try to downplay it, but people there know that they are having problems with that. And it's just like, like, what do you want me to be mad about? Let me see, somebody's upset, I think, because YouTube is not showing. Well, why would you not show that, YouTube? Thank you. Thank you, Aurelis. I appreciate that. I don't know why YouTube was hiding that of all things. All you did was say sexy thing, and YouTube is like, I mean, YouTube was like, I can't have any positivity come through. Um, but yeah, so what I was trying to say is they're going to try to run the same plays like the media is, the press is, that they were able to run successfully in 2016 and 2020. And I know that, he hasn't been our president, obviously, for the last 4 years, but it sure did seem like it, the way that the press was covering everything he said. For the press to really not like him, they don't do a good job of actually suppressing him. They are always promoting him. And if you really don't like somebody, then why would you constantly have them on? Why would you constantly be showing them if you really don't like them? Like, that's what doesn't make sense to me. It's like, you're talking about him all the time, but then you're trying to tell me you hate him. And it's like, well, I find that hard to believe that you really hate him that much when you can't seem to stop promoting him. And now, because people are smart enough to know that you should keep your mouth shut if you're supporting Trump, and thank you, Rose, but I cannot be deported. That's one of the big things that I say really quick, is that, the leftists are so big on talking about racism and how much they hate racism. But when stuff like this happens, because if you check out the comments on Baller Alert on this one, I gotta admit that I did get kind of annoyed because sorry, I got caught up reading a comment, or reading one of the comments here. But what happened is, like, in these comments on Baller Alert, there's a bunch of people saying, all you Latinos that voted for Trump are, going to be in trouble now, or your family's going back and stuff. And my entire family, I can't speak for every other Latino, but a lot of us, and especially me, yeah, that comment can stay hidden. I hope you know that was your comment and it's not going to show. YouTube was good at filtering that one out, and I'm going to leave that hidden. So, yep, I deleted it. I don't care. No negativity will be coming towards me on my live chat. Might as well call this North Korea, because I am not allowing anything in that is even kind of negative. So you can take it somewhere else. But yeah, what I was going to say is, it is so, like, people are constantly on the left going on about racism and how terrible it is and how everybody on the right is so racist. But everything I hear that's racist comes to me from the left. It's always people on the left being like, yeah, well, once Trump starts his deportations, I hope you're ready for your family to go back. And it's like, yeah, you're right. I am Mexican American. Emphasis on the American part, because everybody in my family, I mean, my cousins, my uncles, my aunts, obviously my sisters, my parents, my nephews, my nieces, everybody in my family is a U.S. citizen. So I don't know what anybody thinks is going to happen to my family, or why anything would happen to my family. It's not even within the realm of possibility. And you think you're being insulting, but to me, and I'm not trying to pull the card like, like I'm trying to say, feel sorry for me, or this is why people shouldn't do it. You do whatever you want. You say whatever you want, because I'm only going to let in as much as I want to let in. But to me, there is something very racist about people on the left constantly telling me this, because what it implies is that no matter what I do, in your eyes, I'll never be American enough to be safe in this country. Even though, like I said, I was born here, my parents were born here. So, like, do you not see how that's racist, that you constantly threaten me with going back? Going back where? Going back to a place that I've only ever been on vacation? Because that's the only time I've ever been to Mexico, is when I went to Rocky Point when I was a kid. Outside of that, I'm not from Mexico. I don't even speak Spanish. I mean, like, I wish I spoke Spanish because then I'd get better deals. If you guys know, there's a regular price and then there's a true Mexican price. When you go buy parts for your car, a lot of things, you get a lot. You know what I mean? But it's just annoying to me that people always want to throw in the, well, you better be ready when your family goes back. I mean, like, do you know how offended my mom is? As, you know, because my mom, people think I'm bad. My mom is a true Chicana, you know, like, and if you don't know what Chicano and Chicana is, that's Mexican American, you know, and my mom is a true Chicana, and like, Chicanas don't usually take a lot of BS, you know, they won't, they're not putting up with a lot from people. And my mom is very clear about the fact that she is American and has no connection with Mexico at all. And that's the other thing. People expect us to have loyalty to Mexico, but why? If nobody in my family is in Mexico, and on my mom's side, it's not even traceable when we were from, you know, when that side of the family was in Mexico. Like, because Arizona is one of the youngest states. Arizona became a state, was established in 1912 as part of the Louisiana Purchase. And so, like, you know, Arizona isn't even that old of a state. And so my mom's family was there before it even became a state. And so, you know, and then my dad's first generation, but he was born here. My grandparents on my dad's side have already died, you know, they were super old and they've died. So, you know, let me see what this, yep, that can stay hidden. Your messages will never get seen. Eventually I'll just block you because, uh, and so, you know, I don't know what people think is supposed to happen or what people think is gonna change. You know, like as far as like why am I like, and I know people get really mad about that. I love you too, by the way, Mask Guy Johnny. I know people get really mad about that because they can't hold that over me. Like, you know, people get so upset because they're like, so you're not worried about what? Worried about people that I have no connection with? Because I'm not Mexican like that. Listen to the way I speak. I do not speak Spanish. I don't have an accent. So I don't know why I would be so concerned with people. Well, you don't feel a connection. A connection with what? Like, you know who I feel connected to is other Americans. That's who I feel connected to. You know who I feel connected to is people that are having FEMA checks bounce or not able to get money from FEMA because it's going to illegals. Maybe that's who I feel a connection to. Why would I feel a connection to Mexico? What did Mexico ever do for me that I should owe them some sort of loyalty? I mean, when somebody can answer that for me, I mean, like, Mexico's so great that people will risk their lives to leave it. But for some reason, I'm supposed to feel connected to it. How does that make sense? Wait, are you saying that Mexico? Well, I am friendly most of the time. Let's see. Yeah, and I've seen a couple little hate comments scroll by, but I haven't been paying attention to the comments that much because I'm easily distracted. But let me just block this person real quick because they can't seem to get enough of leaving this same comment. And really, I have no connection to you at all. So let me put you in timeout. That's what I'll do. Let's go for 5 minutes. There, you're... I love that I can treat people like children and just put them in timeout. It's some dumbass that said, you owe Mexico your existence, dumbass. What a stupid thing to say. No, I owe my father and my mother my existence. I don't owe Mexico shit. If you love Mexico so much, then go there and then message me and tell me how great it is. If Mexico is so great, why is everybody risking their lives to be here? That's what I want to know. Since everybody wants to act like, oh, Mexico, you should be so proud of what? Dirt floors and People selling chiclets? Is that what I'm supposed to be proud of? Sorry, I'm not. I swear. No, what happens is, thank you, Messiah. I appreciate that. I think it's so funny that you call me Theo. I think it's nice. I have nephews and nieces, so I'm very used to being Theo. They usually call me Theo T. Yeah, the people that are saying bye, bye. I don't care. Like, you don't get that I really am not here for you like that. Like, if you think that because you watch content every once in a while, that I owe you my vote or I have to say things the way that you want me to say them, you don't understand the way I work. Like, whatever you think you've done, you have not. I mean, like, every once in a while, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, Libby. Every once in a while, somebody will send me a ridiculous super chat. Like, ridiculously, and I'm not, because I appreciate everything anybody sends me. Nobody has to send me anything. But every once in a while, somebody will send me a super chat that's like a decent, amount of money. You know what those people don't do? They don't ask me to change my vote or my thinking because of them. So if I have people that are actually sending me money and they're not asking me to change my mind, then why would a person that probably doesn't even watch my content, because I'll be completely honest with you, you snitch on yourself. When you get mad at me because I vote for Trump, you really do snitch on yourself that you're not a true fan, because people that really watch my content consistently know that I've been voting for Trump since 2020 if you're a real fan, or 2016, sorry, if you're a real fan, you know that. I'm one of the OG Trump supporters. Like, I had everybody trying to cancel me. Facebook did all sorts of crazy stuff with, like, taking my follower count down. I mean, like, they even did a story on it for Total Media that I had to, have an interview with them over. Because I went from having 20,000 followers on just a regular personal account, and then within record time, they just started taking away my followers. And so, it's like, I don't really understand these people that feel like, bye-bye, leave. No, you don't even have to announce you're going. You can just leave. I do not care like that. Like, you will not change. I'm not going to change who I am or the way I think or what I think is best for this country because you have watched maybe one video. Because like I said, if you're upset about me voting for Trump, you really have snitched on yourself that you don't watch my content consistently. Because every video I'm wearing a Trump hat. Every video for the last several months since July, every video I've been wearing a MAGA hat. So, yeah, and I am, what's it called? You know what? I almost feel like showing this comment because it says you're dumb, but they didn't spell you are the right way. So, am I really dumb or are you dumb? Go Kim Jong-tai. That's true. I really am. Let's see. Let me show this message. Sorry. Oh, and for the people that are asking how I know what's going on here. Thank you, Lexi. I appreciate that. Cries, I appreciate that. Let's see. Wow, Sky, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you keep making awesome content too. What's it called? I got to hit you up because I want to do your podcast. If you guys get a chance, follow Sky. She should have just come up on the chat. She's a super chat, and it's Sky. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Vitariti? If you guys get a chance, follow her though. She also has what's it called? Lexico. Northern Snow Mexican, you rock. Thank you, Lexi. I appreciate it. That's the thing. There's a lot of Latinos this time around. Thank you, Raven. I really do appreciate it. How do you think Roger is feeling right now about Trump winning? You know, Raven, I'm going to make a Roger video, but I got to tell you, Roger did me dirty. Roger blocked me. Somebody told Roger that I was, making videos about him or whatever. Like, they snitched because Roger blocked me, but he doesn't know. I have a friend that has eyes on him. Right now, he's been, what's it called? I swear I stalked Roger like we were dating, I'll check his thing. Death Before Decaf, thank you. I appreciate that. Super thanks. I really do. I hope I'm not missing any of the, what's it called? Anybody's super thanks so far. But yeah, I'm not even trying to be like shady with anybody or anything like that. Love you and your content, Trump, JP. Thank you, JP. I really do appreciate that super thanks. There's a super chat. But yeah, I really don't care too much about people being mad at me because like I said, I've been supporting Trump since 2016. So when you've been supporting Trump since 2016, you're used to people being mad at you. And so I'm not going to pretend. Let's see. Thank you, Alex Emery. They tried to, like, what's it called? Your thing. Let me see. The thing with you, this person, is that you're really not getting that. I don't really care what a lot of people think about me. I just don't live that kind of life. So I'm not going to lie. Thank you, Sky, for joining Team Bijou. I'm not going to lie to you guys and act like I really care about the opinions of strangers online when they're like, I think you're so whatever. Or somebody just called me a weirdo, and it's like, I've been a weirdo my whole life. So I'm not going to suddenly act like I care about that. Hi, Sunshine. Hello. Who was it that wrote Tony Hinchcliffe's jokes at the Trump rally? You know what, Germ? If you come up with a good J-Spice, thank you. I appreciate that super chat. I really do appreciate that. Germ, just on this one thing, I don't know who wrote Tony Hinchcliffe's jokes. I have a suspicion that one person helped write, and I think that same person helped write for the Tom Brady roast, but I don't have that confirmed. And so I don't know if I should say it or not. Okay, let's see. There you go. So I don't know if I should say or not, but possibly a super thanks that isn't a low one would get me to answer that question on my live. But outside of that, I'm not. And let me see. Have I missed anybody that I should say thank you to for the super thanks? I hope not, because I'm not trying to be that guy. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are nice. Christ is king. Yes, black men. I do agree that Christ is king. Love you in Ireland. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. Love from Canada. I do appreciate that. Yes, yes. John said you would be a beautiful woman, in my younger years, but, now I'd be more of a broad and I smoke a lot of cigarettes, so I'd probably be like Melrose. Good morning from New Zealand. Good to have you, New Zealand. Have you ever made love to a man? Clearly, you're not a regular of this channel because almost nothing but, and when I say but, I mean B-U-T-T. Faded love from Colorado, sending love back to Colorado. Maddox girl. You know, people try to insult me by being like, you're gay, and it's like, yeah, that is exactly what's going on here. Did I not do my thing at the beginning where I do the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world? Because sometimes I forget to do that when I do things that aren't, what's it called? Southeast Asian legal immigrants and are proud to vote Donald Trump. Yeah, that's the way it is, you know? Like, people that went through the process to actually get in this country the way that you're supposed to, those are some of the people that feel the most cheated about the way that everything's going down, you know? Because it's like, they they actually had to go through that monotonous process and that the waiting and the being on the list. And I mean, like, I have a friend that's been going through that process forever, and so it's like, yeah, of course those people would feel cheated when people can just cut the line and just come here. It's like, yeah, get rid of those people. You know, I've been to China a few times, and the thing with China, can you say the N word? You know, I personally don't say the N word, but I gotta tell you, I have so many black friends that don't care when other people say the N word that I'm not getting offended on the behalf of people that, for the most part, don't care about that word either anymore. So, like, I have to admit, I've gone through different phases in my life where I've thought certain things were taboo or whatever. But at this point in my life, I am truly freedom of speech. Like, anybody can say anything they want. And I'll either laugh or I won't, or I'll, continue to engage in the conversation or I won't. But I really don't believe in canceling people for words anymore at this point, or making a big deal of that. You know, I'm just sort of like, whatever. I mean, like, if I really don't agree with something somebody says, I'll argue with them. You know, I'll go back and forth a little bit. But as far as the, like, this person shouldn't have a job and this person, it's like, no, I'm not doing all that. A lot of LGBT people voted for Trump, honestly. And it was because LGBT people are starting to not be LGBT people anymore. LGBT people are starting to be, go by the whatever letter they are as far as just that title, like a lesbian, a bisexual, a gay. That's the way it's working out now. It's no longer the community like that. Are you black or Chinese or Mexican or white? Well, why do those have to be the choices only? What are you trying to do? Insult me? Just playing. I know somebody who... What about chicks with dicks? What about them? You want to meet some? I got some friends. Let's see. I'm new here, so howdy, y'all. What's up, Dragonfly? Used to be, you needed a sponsor to immigrate. Used to call that a spouse, just playing. But... I don't mind some of the silly troll comments. If I see anything I don't like, then I'll get rid of it. But for the most part, the silly ones, I will allow that. I don't care. Danny, are you? I'm gay for dicks. Yeah, that's usually the way that it works. Yeah, CW, I don't do a lot of lives. I very, very rarely do. I swear that's the Asian in me coming out. I'm not even Asian. Messiah, roast battles when? I don't do the roast battles anymore because I'm not at the mothership anymore. So, but I'm still really good friends with Brian Moses, who is the originator, the creator of the roast battle. I'll probably always be friends with that guy. That guy has been so good to me throughout my life or my career, because I've known him from the beginning. or not from the beginning, but from the beginning of when he started. But yeah, thank you, Messiah. I appreciate that, and maybe one day I'll consider doing it. Um, Thank you, Booyah. I appreciate that. You were so funny on Kill Tony. Yeah, and maybe me and Tony will be friends again one day. I'm not opposed to being cool with Tony again. Just right now, he's going through a bratty phase, and I cannot. And this is just 100% true, and I don't care. Like people don't get. I don't mind if people even go back and tell these people that I say these things because they know, and if they were to talk to me, they'd hear it straight from me. But like, I just cannot pretend, and I'm going to make a video about it, that Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan are two of the best comics in the country, or the world for that matter. I just don't have it in me to humor that. Like, they're very successful, and I don't at all begrudge them their success. I think that's great. But as far as actual comedy, let's see. But as far as their comedy goes, it just isn't good. And so I can't pretend that, these are the best comics in the world. It's like, no, they're not. They're really not. Um, and that's another thing. Sometimes people try to hit me with well, you're just jealous. And I'm like, no, I'm not jealous at all. Like, I literally am just a better comic than both of them. And if that wasn't true, with as many videos as I've done where I've discussed that in the club and everything like that, you think they wouldn't just come right out and say that so they could shut me down? Their audiences are so much bigger than mine. There's a reason that they've never said that, like either of them, and that's because they know it's true. Like, there's no denying it. When it comes to straight up stand up, that's what I'm known for. That's what I do. I just, started doing more of the YouTube because I wanted to stay home. I wanted to stop going on the road, but I am not at all, yeah, Joe did start on the Man Show as far as TV goes, I think. Thank you. I appreciate that, Maddox. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. But yeah, I will start going back on the road. CW, I like Theo Vaughn too. I think he's really funny and I think he's really cool. But I I I've known him since, and seen his comedy evolve since. Like, if a lot of you don't know, people originally on the comedy scene tried to kind of bully and talk about Theo Vaughn in a negative way because he had come from the reality TV world. And so people would try to be mean to him when he first got on the scene. And then he blew up into, what he is now. And I think a lot of those people feel silly about it because people used to like really talk about him. And like, as far as I know, like when I first saw him, he was super nice from the beginning, but so I don't know why anybody was hating on him. But, I think that's what happens when you're in his position because, he came from the reality world, and like he's a good looking guy, and when he came on the scene it was like 15 years ago or a little bit longer than that. So at that time he was a younger good looking guy, and I think a lot of people get jealous of that when it's like, he had good stage presence to begin with. So it's like he had a lot going for him, even though he would tell you that he did have his the hard part of his life that a lot of people didn't know or didn't know was going on at the time, like a lot of people. But overall he was killing it, and I think that makes people mad where they're like, oh, okay, well then I guess I have to hate on him since he's, let's see. I'm Spanish, not Latina. I voted for Trump. Good, yeah. I'm technically, I'm a quarter Spanish, but I never say that, even though I think it's important. Like, that's important to me, is the quarter Spanish, because not on my dad's side is Spanish, and it's so, like, if anybody were to have ever seen her when she was alive, any of you guys, like, she's so Spanish looking, like, and so, like, but you can't say that when you're Mexican, because other Mexicans will be like, well, you just think you're better than us because you're part Spanish. And it's like, all right, well, how about I think I'm better than you for reasons other than that? How about that's where I really come at it from? I wish I was a nicer person or a better person, but I'm just not. You know what I mean? I am kind of snotty. So, I mean, like, especially, let's see, Native American who refused the reservation and sacrificed to make it on my own. Good to have you. Yeah, that's somebody that needs to be back in the conversation when it comes to race in America. Is we never ever talk about the natives, and I grew up around a lot of natives because I'm from Casa Grande, Arizona, and the Sackatone Reservation is right next door, and so, like, I grew up with a lot of natives, and then, like, when you're in the Phoenix scene, in the gay scene, then there's a lot of natives that are there, and so, like, that's where the conversation needs to go a little bit more. Um, all right, so let's see. I guess I should get out of here. I gotta get a haircut, and then I gotta get ready to record another, like, actual video tonight. I wanted to come. What's it called? I wanted to come on live and just see what's up, because people have been telling me that Cat is a quarter dinosaur. Well, good having you, Cat. What kind? A Stegosaurus or a T-Rex? You got the little. You know what? I hope you don't have little arms like that, and now I'm making fun of handicapped people. I really hope that's not what's happening here, because, oh, somebody got punched in the giggle dick. I'm gonna let that I'm gonna let that comment post. Thank you, Lexi. I appreciate that. Paige Irene, you have a great day. And Katrina, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And yeah, congrats to Trump is right. I really am happy about it, because we got to lick a lot of puss on the board. But yeah, I should get out of here soon, because I got to get a haircut. Zach Nicholson, the mothership lost a great comedic talent. I appreciate that. The that situation was so dumb, and I wish Joe Rogan had lived up to what he says about that place, or he had that place live up to what it's supposed to be, where he's like, this place was a meritocracy, and it's like, no, it's really not. I was there, and I was really there. People don't get that either. Like, sometimes they're like, you were really. I was green room there. And not every comic that performs there even goes to the green room. I mean, like, nobody would doubt the level of access I had to that place. So when people act like they know something, it's like, you know nothing, peasant. I understand. You tried to get tickets for months and you couldn't get in. And so it bothers you that an asshole like me was a regular there and then chose not to be a regular there at a point. Nobody kicked me out of that place. I chose at a point. I was like, oh, you're not going to let me grow here? Let me go somewhere else. Let me worry about my own life. I'm not going to hang out here just to be cool. I mean, like, if I wanted to be cool, I'd hang out with the much more glamorous crowd. Joe Rogan isn't tall enough to be cool. Let's see. Somebody, Batman, is your eye tattoo from Mortal Kombat? No, my eye tattoo is just basically, I got it when I was in Vegas, when I lived in Vegas. And my eye tattoo is really just to let people know that I'm the head clown. That's what it is. It's just so everybody knows that they're dealing with the clown when they see me. That's why when people try to insult me online and they're like, yeah, clown, because they try to make fun of me for having this tattoo and they call me a clown. And I'm like, that's exactly why it's there. How would that be an insult, dummy? We just need to get rid of the government here in Australia. Jason Draculis, I have to say, you guys have it rough as far as your your government goes. Your guys' government has people coming at me sideways. Like, Australians will get very mad at me because I am very pro-trans as far as adults that understand that there's certain women's spaces that they don't belong in, and also that women's sports are off limits, and also that transing the kids in any way is not an option. Like, so I mean, but also when I was coming up, I'm a Gen Xer. When I was coming up, all trans people already knew that, as far as like certain women's spaces, they weren't going to go make anybody uncomfortable. And then sports, nobody was like, what trans women want to do sports? I mean, if you wanted to do sports, you should have just stayed a boy. Which I know some people would get mad at that, but that's really the way I feel about it. If we're keeping it just 100% real, that's really the way I feel about it. If you love sports that much, you just stay a boy. That's what I would tell you. But if you decide you want to become a woman midway through your life, how about you live like veal? You just a small cage so you can soften up all that muscle and stop being a man. That's what I feel about it. But yeah, no, because your guys' government is so crazy with the trans stuff and what they're allowing in Australia, people will get mad at me, like, viewers from Australia will get mad at me because they don't understand that even though we have our problems with the trans activists here in the States, we have enough cool trans people in the States, and our government hasn't gone. That's why I'm so glad. Thank you for bringing it up, because it ties back in. That's a part of the reason that I'm so glad Trump is in office, because some of these activists are trying to get crazy over here and trying to have us in the same situation you guys are in on Australia. And that is not at all my idea of a utopia. Yes, I do support trans people. I support trans people living their lives, not taking over everybody else's. And I think that's the part people don't get. All right, so I should get out of here soon. Don't get that. What is the matter with you? Do I get that ass T-wrecked? Face tattoo, Trump supporter, makes sense. Yeah, it kind of does. Why is it not just allowing lick a lot of push jokes? My Facebook doesn't know me. I grew up in Wyoming. My aunt brought a native boy to visit. I was very much flabbergasted when he told me how they make puppy stew. It's what you think it is. I never heard of puppy stew. Actually, I've been to 3 MAGA rallies, Marcus G. I have been to 3 of them, and they are very nice to me, and they take pictures with me like I'm a prize-winning pig, and I love it. Which really they do. Yeah, I'll do a Roger video, Michael Cook. I definitely will. It's almost time for me to get out of here. Let me read these messages real quick. Oh, deporting myself back to work. Messiah, thank you for checking it out. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for saying hi. I really appreciate you. I love you. Hope you have a good day. Somebody put deplorable. I'll take it. And let me see if I'm missing anything here. Oh my God, somebody's escaping to Canada. Hi, White Wolf, love you too. How many years did you spend in prison? Oh, Patrick, you're gonna have to do better than that, Patrick. Come on. Like, what is this, amateur hour? All right, Edith, love you too. Thank you for watching. Ezra Sleet, I don't even know what you're talking about. I do not care. I gotta get out of here. CW, Blair White is the best. I love her. She's great. And just got a super thanks from David Teague. I always appreciate you, David Teague. You are a good man. And I've got to get out of here now, so... Well, that message got deleted, so... Gonna have to try harder, buddy. Yeah, Sky News is great. Jesus. Andrew Patterson, gay guy from Kill Tony. Yeah, okay. Batman, I think Trump might be gay. Okay, well, you know. I gotta get out of here now. Okay. So, that's our... I almost said that's our presentation for the day, like it's a kitty hour or something. Well, folks, that's our presentation for the day, and I'll do these. I guess maybe I'll try them once a week. I really appreciate everybody. I love all of you, and I do really mean that. When I say the I love yous back, the I love yous back on my comments and stuff like that, and when I say I love you here, I really do mean that, because I really do enjoy doing YouTube, and I really do know that you guys have a million other things you guys can be watching and paying attention to, and the fact that people actually do pay attention to my stuff, and the super thanks people, I always appreciate you as well. The people that can't do the super thanks, I definitely do get that, and I'm not sweating you. I really appreciate you just taking time out of your day. So everybody, I love you, and we'll chat soon. Thanks again, everybody. Froggy Fresh, I'll do another live probably in the next week or so, but not too soon, because I don't want you guys to get tired.